Hello and welcome to Drakenmemoria. Yay! What is Drakenmemoria, you may ask? Well, it's Dungeons & Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons & Dragons. So if this is not something you want to watch, why did you click on us then?
You have to watch now.
True. Get the hell. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you have to stay here now.
Yeah, no, you clicked on it. Now you have to assume to take responsibilities. You gotta watch us. That's just how it goes.
You might be wondering why your mouse is hovering over the subscribe button and can't be moved to another location. Excellent question.
It's true.
And now that as I'm watching you closely, you're gonna feel the urge to click on subscribe. I'm not seeing anyone. I want to see the title subscription.
We'll be here all night. Everyone just stares at
Hold on.
all night.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. That's topical.
Hey, it worked!
It worked. No way.
See, I've got talent. It's called being a dungeon master. Alright, so, for everyone else who actually wants to be here, no matter the reason, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. As for publicity, well, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, it's Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, it's Wonder Draft. And if you like the battle map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. Speaking of Wonder Draft, hey, we finished our first map on the Thursday stream. Yay! Now I'm in the process of figuring out how to put it on Patreon so people can have it. It should happen within the next few weeks. Alright. Anyone else? We had some interesting sponsors that came from the bottom of your stomach.
Brought to you by Oxygen.
Well, if it came from inside of your stomach, wouldn't it be O2?
Well, actually, most of it would be nitrogen, but that's a technicality, though.
Yeah. So you're saying that if enough people burp at the same time, we can fuel a nitrogen generator?
If we all burp at the same time, in the same direction, in the same general location, maybe, just maybe, we could push the Earth like a couple of micrometers.
Yeah. Just figured out how to make infinite energy. Now everyone's going to go buy a can of soda and... Alright, so... Yeah, no, we don't need a thunderstorm. So if any of those software are interesting for you, there's information is in the below the window. If you're watching this on Twitch, YouTube, or Patreon. If you're watching this somewhere else, I don't know. Alright, so... Wow. I was going to say what happened last episode. Wow, my description is very small. The party engaged a troop of the High Priest, keeping a tyrannic hold on a poor town. No, that's weird. That sounds like what I said last week.
That's probably because that's pretty much what we did.
We finished engaging no priest.
Yeah.
Many explosions happened.
Huh. I'm gonna have to go watch if I uploaded the right video.
That'd be awkward.
Wouldn't that be awkward?
Oh no, okay. I see what happened. I see what happened. Then that means I forgot. Okay. That's okay. It happens. I'll have to settle that problem later. All right. Well, then in that case, it means I'm improvising what happened. What happened last episode? Roughly 18 seconds. The fight went on. I was going to say poorly, but also not so poorly because, as you can see, everyone has a name tag, so everyone survived.
But whether that will stick around,
We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, the fight kept on.
Now even the DM is forgetting about Oranak.
No. He's technically dead right now.
I guess he also
You might even-
technically survived because he's not.
you might even say dead in the water.
We'll see if he floats. All right. So, what was I saying? What happened last episode? Yes, it's important to stay focused. So, last episode, well, our party kept on fighting. They kept on taking a beating and did their best to keep on living. Once again.
Oh shit, I am gonna die. Just hit me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't. I don't have the proper dice to see if you live or die. Thank you
I
for
forgot
reminding
to
me.
start making another character.
All right, so last episode, like I was saying, the fight kept on going. Our party did their best to eliminate everyone. They fortunately managed to scare off most of the guard, but those who had a little bit more experience stayed behind and kept on fighting, chipping away at our party's ability to survive. Audience went down several times. Fisher is not feeling too good. Tobiashi either. Orunak sacrificed himself to heal everyone before he was hit by lightning and then pulverized with fire from his own friends. And then fell into a well. Lifeless.
Where he was retrieved because he is valued.
Well, technically, you never said you took the acorn back. So,
All right, so
He will be retrieved
Okay.
because, as I'm remembering, I did not have two object interactions to do both of the things I needed to do.
yeah.
I'm gonna be an old goblin named Yoda. All right.
What else happened? Oh yeah, Terry showed audience what a real breath weapon was twice.
God.
Well,
And well, the fight eventually ended in our heroes' favor. They managed to kill nearly all of the aides of the high priest, since most of the guard just ran away. Well, those who survived anyway. And it finished with all of our party members simply bullying the poor high priest into humiliation and submission and eventually decapitation. But just as they all thought that it was over, they unfortunately realized that their friend had warded his promise to not harm anyone who had harmed him in a way that still allowed him to exact his vengeance on the entire population of the town. He
Let's just say that everyone got ahead of themselves.
He unleashed sacred power to the point where it became poisonous. Light so
And hot.
strong that
Bad.
even the slightest darkness inside of someone's heart was enough to ignite it like coal and slowly burn away at people from the inside. And as everyone around, all of the townspeople started to scream and burn alive, our party tried and did something. Fisher did probably the most fatherly thing he had ever done since the beginning of the campaign and shoved Harry back into his box so he would be spared this. Remy was completely baffled by the idea of the light able to harm people. Tobiashi decided that it was either fight or flight, and he decided fighting. So he started burning alive, just as he asked for assistance from the knight. And
Yeah, that scene from Kick-Ass. Sorry.
And audience probably did the most both out of character and in character thing he had ever done since the beginning of this campaign.
We were all shocked.
He demanded to take the punishment of everyone in town, to spare them all, and him take the burden of their sin and be purged from it. This is exactly where we left off. So, on that initial 6 seconds where Remy got what the heck is happening, and we have Tobiashi starting to burn from the light all around him. Tobiashi, hold on. I believe I have the spell.
Forgot.
It's a Constitution saving throw, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay, go ahead. Constitution saving throw.
$14.
All right. 14. All right. Which means you failed. And take 21 points of radiant damage as you are being burnt alive.
Wait, how many points?
21 points of radiant damage.
That already, or it bypasses the
What?
the resistance because we're in the shard. Is this bypassing it because it's from?
I think it's because it's from the god. I think it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Tobiashi and audience would be the one to better understand this as well. You are literally feeling
So I'm burning from the inside
the
out.
breath of a god right now. So it's
Halitosis. Oh, sorry.
Tobiashi, you now have a level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
You could see the fire in my eyes, burning the back of my cornea.
Well, Tobiashi, you start screaming.
Exhaustion.
Because I believe you are below 50% hit point right now.
Run, child. Yeah. I am 28 out of 75.
So yeah,
I healed before.
it's starting to hurt. You start to see the blisters forming on your body. The heat itself is just burning you alive. Audience, as you arrive in front and grab the hammer and ask the paladin to judge you instead, to take on the burden of all of their sin and be judged for it. distractingly in your ear, the only thing you hear, because Tobiashi asked for help, and you all hear it because you have the orb are on an open comm. You hear the knight just very, very focused in his voice say, I can be here in I can be here in under half a minute. Hold on.
No, that's still a really long time.
He is halfway across this town.
30 seconds is so long.
Wait, does this turn out that I am actually the Ghost Rider? And no, sorry.
Dude, you're not yet. You're spoiling it.
Shit. The script. I forgot. Sorry,
You skipped ahead, dude.
Okay.
Audience.
We're on page 4.
Ah, man. You really should read the script when I send it. Jeez Louise. Alright. So, audience, when you lower the hammer, you can see the face of the paladin. And in that moment, in that instance, you realize that your plea were for nothing because he's not listening. His eyes are so full with anger. It's nearly consumed by anger, by the desire to make them all pay. And for a brief moment, all this anger is just pushed onto you to the point where it nearly makes you feel assaulted by the simple intention of this paladin. There's a brief moment where your mind starts to try and figure out another way out of this, because it's clear you can't reason with this paladin.
Let me roll for grapple. I think that's what I was doing.
You try to do well. Here's what
I'm on fire.
Tobiashi, Fisher, and Remy sees. When audience screams this, tells this to the paladin, suddenly you see all of the light around you focus, as if focused by a single eye, and it just... And the entire light is focused on audience, and he is completely obliterated by this ray of light. He becomes nothing more than a blackened silhouette in this ray of light. You hear him let out a scream. But for you, audience, what happened is slightly different. Sorry. When your mind realizes that this paladin is not gonna let it go, and he's going to burn everyone alive if he can, your mind races to try and figure out another way out of this, and this is when there is this flash of light, and you realize that nothing is moving. Time seemed to have stopped. You see the expression of Tobiashi, who is in shock because he's burning. You see his silk having started to expand and go toward the paladin, but he's frozen there. You see the shocked face of Remy. You see Fisher in the last phase of closing the box on Terry. And you see the paladin looking at you, but everything else is frozen, except for you. Then you start feeling that presence, that imposing and powerful presence. There is a light coming from behind you, a very powerful light. Your reflexes simply start turning to see the light, but it is so powerful, it's like trying to look at the sun. You have that moment of and just looking at it indirectly, You can't bear it. It is overwhelming you. In that moment, you know you've drawn the attention of an actual god. And it is his light you are seeing. His mere presence. Then you see a figure starting to walk from the light and toward you. And you know that you can see this outline because this is either an avatar of that god or an angelic being working for that god. He starts walking toward you. And he speaks. When he speaks, it hurts. It is so powerful. It feels your very soul trembles. How explosive his voice is. You hear, you would take on the burden of their sins. You would face judgment for their sins.
I just look at them. I go, I would.
When you answer this, you feel 3 presents add themselves to this little moment. One of them feels very familiar. You've known it all your life. It is your God looking at you right now. The intention behind it, however, can only translate in your mind as someone looking at you and saying, "What's your angle in this?" The second presence, not new, but relatively new. It's a very recent attention that has been placed on you. You recognize the intention, the will of that new god that had seen that you had potential.
Yeah.
His gaze, however, translates into your mind as a reluctant hopefulness. He saw potential in you, but you've also turned your back on him. So he's looking at you, wondering if you'll actually go through with this.
Fair.
The third one, you've never felt before. This one feels a little bit more playful in the way that it's looking at you right now. The only way that you would translate this in your mind is like someone who has watched a play hundreds of times. And he's looking at this play right now, and he's just going and saying to the guy right next to him, "Oh, this is when it starts getting good." The only image that comes into your mind is the mask of a raccoon.
Okay.
The entity, the first one, who has asked you if you're ready to take on the sins of all those people in town, takes another step toward you, audience, and says, "You know nothing of them. You know nothing of what they did. Are you willing to take on the sins of the weak of heart?"
I am.
Make a charisma saving throw. I can give you advantage on it.
Okay.
if you decide to have your mind reach out to someone, it can be a PC or an NPC, that will inspire you for this moment. It is a charisma saving throw. So you are
Okay.
taking on the sins of people who have been influenced. If you can justify the person that you are reaching out to in a way that makes sense, I will give you advantage. Remember
Okay.
that everything you say from this point on is part of the test. Even if you decide to not reach out to someone, it will have influence.
Okay.
Sorry. Now that's stuck in my head.
So, audience would actually reach out to a very specific person here
Okay.
because he feels guilt for this and he knows he would actually reach out to both his kind of in his mind, he would reach both out to his little dragon and the sun god, which he feels might be the most connected to the little dragon because they both were disappointed by his actions. And he's like, if this is my final, basically what he says in his mind is, this is my final moments. I wanted to apologize to both of you. Last time, I was not strong enough to stand up for those that were weak. I thought too much of myself. I thought too much of my own doing. But in this moment, I know that is not a paladin's bidding. I am here, and I must take on for even those that I do not know, for even those that are weak, for they cannot defend themselves, and I must defend them. And so he'll reach out to him and his little dragon and basically apologize to both of them and say, if this is my repentance, so be it.
All right. All right. I'll give you advantage for this roll.
Okay. I rolled a 21.
Okay. You take on the sin of all of those people. There is that brief moment where you try and strengthen your heart, your resolve, as it was weak before, and you have been pushed into doing something you did not want to necessarily do, but also did not feel like you should apologize for having done it. There is a little bit of strength that comes from this. You feel all of the darkness of those people just being drawn into you, and they just pour inside of you violently, aggressively, entering from any access point of your body. Your nose, your mouth, your eyes, your ears. It goes inside and it starts to darken your insides. And you are shown so many moments where people wearing the emblem of the high priest are there in the street, convincing people of what is good and bad, slowly working to influence their mind so that when the time comes, they will pick up the stone and throw it on the sister of the paladin. You feel their heart swaying on their argument, their mind giving in, being persuaded. You feel the perversion of being manipulated intentionally toward doing something that you might not actually do, but then find yourself doing. It comes inside and it starts burning as the light of the god suddenly pushes all of that, those weak heart, those sins, those feeling outside of you. It burns. Right now, audience, it's not attacking your body, it's attacking your soul. So you have full hit point. But remember that those hit points are the hit points of your soul, not your body.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just for now 27. Okay, I'll remember I was at 27. If we're gonna do like a separate hit point, I'll go back up to 97 for soul hit points.
You take 26 points of psychic damage as this energy inside of you. To you, it feels like radiant energy, but inside of you, it's psychic damage as your mind is being purged of the evil that you just took inside of you and accepted to be purged from this. When this experience ends, you feel the drain, you feel that weakness, but you are still above your 50% hit point, so your resolve is still there.
I stagger, but I do not collapse.
Right.
Audience doesn't know how to stagger. He can only swagger.
I stagger with a swagger.
He just pumps up his
Because he's
chest.
got moves like Mick Jagger.
I just start moonwalking in front of all the gods. Just like, ooh, that burns.
After this first judgment, the god looks at you again and says, "Are you willing to take on the sins of the weak of mind?"
I am.
All right. You are taking on the sins of those who were convinced to throw the first stone at the stoning. If you want to reach out to someone, to a soul somewhere, PC or NPC, that you feel might strengthen your will for this specific challenge, you can. If it's convincing, I'll give you advantage again on your saving throw.
The weak of mind. Specifically, for the weak of mind, I think I would reach out to the god, the masked god, because everything I know of him has come from the mind. He has appeared in dreams. He has shown me both strength and weakness of mind in the prophecy, and he feels the one that's most connected to the minds and those who have perhaps been forgotten, and the forgotten heroes, and how he's kind of, they've been forgotten, but their minds have like lived on, like less tangible, I guess, which is why I would reach out to him.
Okay. That's interesting.
And I've never reached out to him before, so.
No. That's interesting. Okay, yeah. I'll give you advantage on your saving throw.
Okay, is that charisma again or a different
No,
one?
that's his intellect. It's intelligence.
Oh.
You're being convinced.
Oh boy! Glad I asked for advantage on this one, because it's probably not going to be great no matter what I do. Oh, the advantage might have saved me. I rolled a 19, which is the second highest I could have rolled for a 22 on the second roll.
All right. You do manage to save.
Thank you, Raccoon God. I needed that. My first one was a 13, which probably would not have been enough.
Okay. Ooh. All right. So you see that darkness around you gathers and literally assault your mind, forcing itself on you, forcing itself, its sins, its weakness on you. You nearly fall to your knees as your mind is blasted with images of this frail looking woman. But with so much kindness and compassion in her eyes, being forced on her knees in the center of town, with so many people, one rock in their hand, and looking at her, not sure if they should, and then hearing this priest once again remind them of the evil that she helps in her brother. She is his eyes and ears in this town. How she keeps feeding him information that harms the town instead of helping it. You feel their heart swaying, weakening, and as if an involuntary spasm, you see one take a stone and throw it. The poor woman just did not see it coming and is hit face first, disoriented. And then another one starts throwing a rock, and then another one, and another one. You hear her plea to stop. You hear her begging for mercy. And you feel all of their heart giving in one after the other. You suddenly feel the light of the god washing over you, into you, pushing those weak feeling outside, burning you for an additional 29 points of psychic damage.
Thank God I saved. 61, 51, 42. I'm at 42, okay.
This one, however, takes you to your knees as you are now feeling the weakness inside of you, the exhaustion, the... having to see through her eyes people she trusted, she helped, she loved, turn on her, attack her. You felt that pain for her. You felt how she felt when she realized how manipulative the priest had been. Always keeping outside, never interfering directly, but using so many agents to push the town into doing what you wanted. Getting back on your feet after feeling that exhaustion and those feelings. You see
tears welling up in Audience's eyes and running down his... Well, no one else does. The gods do.
Yeah, everyone else
only
sees a shadowy shape being blasted out of existence.
Only gods can see Audience cry now, yeah?
The god, once again, comes closer to you and says, "Are you willing to take on the sins of the weak of spirit?"
Audience gasps out. Or not gasps, because he's not, but he in a kind of half faltering voice, but still looking strongly ahead, he goes, "I am."
Alright, you can reach out to someone. This is going to be a wisdom saving throw because you're going to be facing the crowd, the mob effect taking on the town.
Audience would not reach out to anyone on this one. For his spirit is his one thing he holds alone, and in this he must stand alone.
Okay. Make your wisdom saving throw.
22.
22. That is a good one. Alright. Alright. Okay. Well, you saved. Fortunately.
That's good.
As you are hit by 37 points of psychic damage,
Holy.
felt as radiant.
My soul is barely hanging on to reality.
You are blasted by the images of that poor woman doing what she can to try and run away. But everywhere she turns, every street she crosses, there is someone else joining the mob. Someone else throwing stone. One stone at a time, her body falters. Bruises, cuts, broken limbs. She eventually just falls to the ground, begging, crying, screaming for help. In that last moment, this is where you realize one thing you hadn't. How that moment ended. You see the paladin held down, chained, forced to watch the mob slay his sister. You hear him scream out at everyone as they just finish her off in front of his eyes. You come out of these images barely holding on, understanding a bit more of the pain he's been carrying. But also the god leans toward you, kneeling on the ground, reeling from this. And he says, "He will never forgive you. He is tied to her. Will you spare her soul?
Spare her soul.
She is stuck, unable to move on, her agony fueling his anger. Will you take her place and spare that trial for her?"
Audience looks up, knowing that these are probably his final moments on this realm, and he goes, "I will." Alexa, stop. Don't play Final Moments. I mean, I appreciate it, but
As you say, as you say, the first part, not the second one. You hear one voice. The voice of the raccoon god. Whispers in your ear. Says, you know, you don't need to do this. You've accomplished what you wanted. Everyone in town will be spared.
audience will say, "It is true. I may have taken on their sin and spared them, but she was the most innocent of all their souls. She was the kindest, she was the best, and if anyone deserves to be released from their pain, it is her."
So are you saying you will accept to wake up with the knowledge of what she lived, of the pain she endured, of the betrayal she died with, so
What
that
is a
she may
paladin?
be allowed to
Go
move on?
What is a paladin but the one who takes on the pain, the anguish, the suffering of the common man? For we should be able to handle it. And even if we cannot, may their souls go freely on into the abyss.
The last thing you see is the face of that little creature that has a raccoon mask for eye in front of his eyes. Just smile. And that smiles translate into your mind as, see, I told you this is when it got good. You take on everything she endured. You do not take damage, but audience wakes up from this with the memory of the shock she had when she received the first stone, seeing all those people she cared, helped, loved, turn on her one after the other, victim of manipulation. Their mind slowly twisted over weeks, months, years. Twisted into doing something they thought was for the good. And then the despair of her running, trying to find solace, trying to find sanctuary, but being unable, and her body slowly fading, dying. And the last image that she saw, her brother crying for her. When you wake up, the light vanishes in front of you, and all of you see audience looking completely exhausted. Audience, you fall on your knees because although your body can still take it, your mind is on the verge of being torn apart. The light subsides. You see audience. There's a brief moment where it feels like the paladin is in the perfect position to just strike audience down in a single blow. He doesn't look like he is in any way, shape, or form able to withstand anything. But the paladin looks at you, audience, and he just his arms just drop. He looks at you at this moment and says, I recognize those eyes. You were there for her.
Audience will just kind of whisper to him, I'm so sorry for all you've gone through, for your pain, for your suffering. And while I cannot help you, at least know that our soul is at peace. And then Audience will pass out backwards, his mind in too much of a strain from everything.
Oh, I give that to you easily. With the number of times you fell into battle and this, I'd even go as far as saying you have 2 points of exhaustion.
Yeah.
You just see Audience fall to the paladin's knees, and the paladin just drops the hammer down and looks at all of you. Go away. Leave me be. He turns around and starts walking away.
The hammer?
Quick double check, make sure Audience is alive.
Tobiyashi, you're probably the closest one. Well, Remy, because of your passive perception, you probably hear this. You hear a voice coming from down the well saying, there's a weird tree with a handkerchief that wants to kill me. Can anyone come get this?
Confused.
It's a possible
I'm
reaction.
laying on the ground right now. I am exhausted.
I guess if it looks like Fisher is going to Audience, then Raby will run to the well.
Fisher, Audience's life sign barely registers. You feel his pulse, but it's extremely weak. It's difficult for... Well, Dragonborn don't sweat. They exude the excess heat from their mouth, but you recognize immediately that his mouth is wide open and very dry. He looks like he's just gone through a fever, an indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, all at the same time. And he looks like he's good to sleep for a week.
He's not dead, but about as close as you could get to it.
Yeah. So if I calculated this correctly, his mind has 6 hit points left.
5.
5. Oh, okay, good. Good thing I didn't rely on that, because you might have been dead.
Okay. I will.
Mouth to mouth CPR.
He's got a pulse, dude. What's wrong with you? You don't do CPR on somebody with a pulse. Unless it's a baby. So that's different.
You hear Terranite inside of you say, no, he just wants you to kiss him.
I'm laying down, so I was asking that for
I don't
myself. I'm
think
kidding.
so. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. I think I don't. Yeah, I don't have any. Healing potions or anything left on me. So, but he looks stable, correct?
Yeah, he just completely passed out.
Mm-hmm.
As if he had run a
I
very severe fever and has just broken it.
He's a college student just after finals week.
I will over the open comms. Hey, well, I think we're good here. Audience could probably use some help though.
You hear tonight. All right, good. I'm just a few street corner away. I'll be here in a few moments. Iselna, you can unlatch the defense point with the blue switch. Just flip it and it will fold back. You hear just go, oh, but I like this thing so much. You hear Azidra. Well, for you, Remy, you hear sir, but for everyone, you just hear, it's not your toy. You can't keep it. It takes a few moments before you start realizing the horror of everything around you. Because when you start looking around, you can see so many dead people, so many dead villagers. They had to endure this light for several rounds. And Tobiashi got nearly obliterated in a single round, so a lot of people died burned by the light. The streets are filled with smoldering corpse.
On the ground, I'm looking around. Where's the hammer?
It's right next to audience. The paladin just dropped it and left.
All right, I go to bed.
That's a good call.
Toby immediately went to bed after getting hammered.
Yep. Sometimes it happens.
Well, at least he didn't get nailed.
They ran out of crosses.
All right. You see people coming out of houses. Some of them looked badly injured. Some of them were able to shield themselves somehow. Maybe it was just temporary, but at least some survived. They all gather around where you are. Confused, not sure what happened, not sure what to expect, afraid. Surprisingly. But also, probably for audience, unconscious right now. In his mind, you probably wouldn't be that surprised, especially since who you reached out to. Some of them express anger. Some of them look at you and simply says, he could have done that since the beginning? So why did they all die?
Stone him.
Others try to calm this, but you can see a divide in the villagers. Some are just not happy. Some feel like you all dropped the ball. You could have saved so much more if you only did that sooner.
Hey, you know what? Y'all wouldn't have died if y'all hadn't just stoned an innocent woman to death. So maybe cool it and
Lucky we
you
did
know,
anything
think
for you.
over your actions a little bit.
Someone just screams at you. And you think my son had anything to do with this? He wasn't even alive when this happened. Why did he die? Why didn't you do anything to save him? Others join in. Some try to quiet everything down, but you hear them. A voice over here, a voice over here. Why did the innocent have to suffer? Because you couldn't do the right thing at the right time. You hear
Because you did the wrong thing at the wrong time earlier. He saved the rest of y'all's lives from your own mistakes. Stop trying to blame us for not doing it better. Y'all wouldn't be in this position if you hadn't fucked up in the first place. Go home.
You hear someone, I didn't do anything. I never threw anything. Why did I suffer? Why did I lose a daughter to this?
Well, because the paladin got angry at everybody else. So, you know, blame everybody else. How's that?
You're
Just
gonna
because you
start a
didn't stun that
riot.
one person, doesn't mean you didn't do anything else shitty.
What about you? Didn't you ever did anything shitty? Didn't you ever kill someone? Didn't you ever do something and regretted it after? Why were you spared?
Because I didn't do that to extremely powerful paladin of a super vengeful god. And I got lucky. Or, I don't know.
Remy and Toby, actually, you're noticing that Fisher is slowly riling up the town. He's creating a mob slowly right now.
All right, I'll stand up. Broken. Okay, what's going on? Why are you guys angry?
They're all angry because of their own fuck-ups. And they're blaming us for it. So, for not saving them from the consequences. So, you know, I'm doing a good job here. Please take over.
All right, everybody. I understand. I also wasn't there for the stoning either, but I suffered and almost died for it. Our friend here did everything he could, the fastest he could, to try to protect you all. And it's hard in those situations to figure out what's going to work right or be better. You're lucky we were even here to begin with, or it could have been all of you. I understand your pain and grievances, but now is not the time. It's time for you guys to start focusing on what you're going to do after. You guys have time to grieve, but right now you guys are leaderless, and you have to decide what you're going to be doing going onward. We tried our best, and I know it wasn't what you guys think we could have done, but it's what happened.
Make a persuasion roll at disadvantage because you've been patronizing them. Just a little bit.
It's fine. Let's see. Let me get my bad guy. Persuasion roll with disadvantage. Oh, I already have disadvantage. Right? Or no, that's just on saving. Okay, never mind.
Well, honestly, it kind of depends
Sickening
on...
Radiance, the exhaustion disappears once the spell ends. So any exhaustion you took from the spell has disappeared.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was going to stick around because of circumstances.
Oh,
but-
yeah,
My
no.
throat is still burnt,
The only
but,
thing
yeah.
that the god changed was the range of the spell. The rest of the spell works the same.
Oh, well. What is my persuasion? Well, I rolled 2 11s, so 11.
Well, you know, when you're average, you're average. Um, Remy, you can recognize when things aren't going the right way, especially since you know a little bit more about the how mobs form and how people can suddenly become discontent with everything. But also in your mind, with everything that happened, you sort of remember that elements of the God of the Unsung Hero, that little story that you were all given, that hero who saved an entire city. But most of the people simply blamed him for not doing this earlier. There's this little feeling of something very similar happening right now. But as you're witnessing this happening, you hear this powerful explosion nearby. Everyone just stops talking when this happened, and they all turn toward wherever that happened. And you see the knight with his weapon drawn in the air. Alright, people, I know they're not doing a very good job at convincing you. And that's okay. But maybe we should think more about making sure that some of you survive to hate them longer. So, everyone, gather your things. We're getting out of here because in 2 days, there's nothing that's going to be left of this town. We leave in an hour. Get all of your carts together. Move! You see some people... Ah, he rolled much better than you. It's a 25 for...
Threatening sudden death has a way of moving a crowd.
Mm-hmm. It was a good effort, Toby.
Yeah, I sit back down.
You're right there,
I
buddy.
feel like my insides are burnt.
Oh, no, I'm more referencing to the fact that you seem to be losing your shape. Are you sure you're good?
No,
Your outsides are burnt, too.
I'm burnt. It feels like... How do I explain radiant chemical burns? It's like...
Oh, no, I don't have skin, so...
I don't either, I guess. I'm just dripping on the ground.
Well, radiant damage is holy damage, so it feels like a god simply burped on you.
They burped on your soul.
Yeah.
It feels like radiation. Whatever that is. Have we discovered plutonium yet? I'm delirious.
All right. Here, take this. And he gives you a small little ball. It's maybe an inch in diameter. He gives you this, Tobiashi.
I swallow it.
Oh, okay. That's not a while. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting.
Wait, is that not...
Tobiashi, well, it was just a toy he gave you to make sure that you focused on something else. Because the little ball starts vibrating and you're just going.
I thought it was like the thing
Toby's
that Jordan gave me.
response, just not putting it in his mouth.
I swear I got a ball like that before, but it gave us something from it.
Receives a ball, immediately decides to eat it.
Well, actually, Tobiashi, you don't say exactly this. You say, I saw a ball once and I tried.
It was like a nutrient ball.
I'm sure it's going to come out eventually. Don't worry. It's not harmful. Just no
I'm
one's
having
going to take you
seizures.
seriously until it comes out. That's all.
You could see like the ripples, like I'm like
Yeah.
waving
Exactly, because you're jelly that's slowly losing its form. You sort of everything on you just rippled and. Well, he looks at the audience. Wow, I feel it looks like he decided to do something slightly stupid, but also since everyone's alive, then. I guess just ill prepared. All right, well, you all of you as well. If you need to, if you can't do anything to heal yourself, we'll leave in an hour.
Yeah, I'm all tapped out.
All right.
Amy at the well, slowly trying to like pull down or lower a rope for. Like, is Oranek actually like out right now? Did that water actually spawn him? Or is it just the body that fell in there?
No, the body fell in there. You need to plant him. He needs dirt.
Okay,
So-
I just needed. That's the part that was confusing me so much. Is like, did he just grow in water?
No. No, but there's still the
Most plants don't do that.
but there's still the handkerchief on him because remember he wraps the acorn inside of the handkerchief. So the poor paladin inside the well is looking at the handkerchief, looking at him with murderous intentions.
Yeah, Raimi lowers the rope and uses his mage hand to pluck the acorn and the handkerchief off the tree and raise it up to himself.
Can I use that rope? I don't want to die in this well.
The rope is still down, and just but you like sees like a talon up over the hole, the entry hole of the well.
He just sits. Whoop. All right. Well, the poor guy comes out the well, just looking around. You're hell savages. You know that? You killed all of these people.
Or the dragon. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
Wrong timing.
dumbass.
May he without
Get the
sin
fuck
fall
outta
the first
here.
stone.
Get out of here.
You hear the knight go, now. Everyone's welcome to leave this place. It's gonna help clear your mind when you leave. He looks at the paladin. If you have anything you want to take with you, you can leave with us. You have 1 hour. Go. See, the paladin is slightly confused. Oh, okay. Okay. He starts walking away. That's right. You probably live at the temple. You don't have any belonging left. Just stay here.
Find anything fun in there?
It's been a while. It's all about finding the support columns of a place. This contextual lever was amazing. You just pull it in the right direction, and then suddenly the glue, whatever they used, simply just pours out. It's amazing. Gives you just enough time to run out of this place. You hear everyone screaming behind you. I told them they could leave. What are you all?
Yeah, people never listen to me either.
Yeah,
I don't know
okay,
what loose is.
I'm not
Sam.
gonna read out
I'm
loud
not.
what's on this call.
I'd love to do that. I'm not sure what loosed is. So
Anyway, so now that
I'll pick up the hammer.
Well, there's a range.
Stand there awkwardly trying to think of what to do with it.
Well, as you're looking at it, you do notice that the two medallion that the paladin had added to it just fell on the ground. And the light from the head of the hammer seems to have dissipated. The handle still feels powerful, but the head of it either has become dormant or the god has left it. It's either one or the other. Tobiashi, it feels like Fisher is squeezing part of your soul. There's still that wrap part of your silk on it.
Yeah. I can't handle this right now.
No,
I dissipate it.
no, yeah, I can't handle this right now.
Yeah. I dissipate the silk.
So, yeah.
All right. I go to. Hey, audience. No, you're not. Okay.
I'm not here, buddy.
You don't know why. There are 3 letters hovering over his head. It's written AFK.
Audience is not waking up right now.
I like about it all, like the dead soldiers and everything. Fumble around through audience's pockets, take out the crystal. I'm like, I might as well give it a shot, right? And try and open his dimensional storage space.
No, it's not gonna work.
Get the lever and push
Understandable.
to open.
Just to get on the crystal. I think that might be. I don't want to try that.
Well, technically, it's audience's dimensional storage space.
Yeah.
He has to give it to someone. This is why it was cleaned properly, because he voluntarily gave the key to someone. But he's unconscious right now, so he can't voluntarily give it to
You guys
someone.
probably should at some point ask for permission for me to have access to my interdimensional storage space, so it's not only always me who can open it.
Yeah, but that would take thinking about it when it's not actively a problem.
I already grabbed the loot before we started fighting the guy.
Oh, right.
The loot is already gotten.
I mean, there wasn't really.
I'll start walking around and grabbing shit from all the bodies.
Sobi, I think you got the loot from the high-level priest. I don't think anyone has looted the captain of the high-level paladin or the high-level rogue.
But what I was going to say is that not nearly enough time passed for you to possibly have investigated all of the bodies, considering.
Oh yeah, not all of them.
The moment you started is when the burning happened.
Yeah.
All right. So by looking at everything, because you technically have an hour, as everyone is slowly gathering their things, there are a few carts that are being brought in. Some people didn't understand the explanation, so they also bring whatever is pulling the cart with them.
You should ask to borrow a cart. He'll probably give it to you. Maybe.
All right. So you find.
Idea.
Oh goodness.
No, I did not die. But thank you for carrying Maya. I'll explain later.
Well, you find shields, short sword, daggers, darts, a cloak, a whole bunch of short swords, spears, leather armor, scale mail.
Can I just sit down for 10 minutes and then to cast Detect Magic, so I can just wander around and just grab all the magic stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Efficient.
We,
Like, I
we
mean,
have
of
we
how
have
to loot.
enough we have enough of a full armory of non-magic stuff. I don't think we need more.
I don't think we have scale mail, but
Armor takes up a lot of space.
it
So
does.
we're saying
We
I
don't
didn't
need
pick
scale
up the
mail.
ring and the dagger.
No, I think
That-
you
I'm just saying.
did. I just don't
Okay.
think you did anything besides that.
So just
Yeah.
just so that you know, audience, you just managed to avoid the party from having to fight a level 15 paladin.
For half a minute.
When
Nice.
everybody was at
The hammer was granting a permanent sickening radiance and haste spell active on him.
nice. Permanent meaning
Meaning
he
throughout
wasn't
the
gonna have to make
concentration. Yeah,
checks.
it was the object
Oh, nice.
maintaining this.
What
Yeah, no,
what's
that
her
wasn't gonna happen. We were all gonna die.
what is she doing? What was she doing the whole time?
Who?
She was with us. She came down.
Azedra?
Yeah,
Or-
I think
Yeah, Azedra.
one of them came
She was
down.
taking out archers.
Yeah,
No, I mean one of them came down with us before we even started fighting. What's his face? Like before I even attacked
Oh,
him.
she just wasn't burning like the rest of you. She just was standing
Okay.
there waiting to see what happened.
she was a bit more cautious. You know, trying not to just jump into a fight that may not have been able to win.
Well,
She's a rogue. You know, she is cautious by nature. All right, so with the high priest, there is a magical shield, there is a magical cloak, there is a magical dagger. There's a magical plate armor. You found in the high priest 3 diamonds able
the
to
diamonds,
cast, able to be used to cast. Didn't I? No, of course you wouldn't have. All right, never mind. To cast Revivify.
So they're all 300 gold each.
Yes. Sure.
I'm only asking because that's the minimum for Revivify, but if they're worth more than that, then
All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. There you go. That's where the other diamonds were. All right. On the priest captain, you find a magical ring, a magical half plate, magical quarterstaff, magical dagger, and 3 diamonds being that can be used to cast Raise Dead.
in the ring, just a ring.
Well, it's not identify, it's detect magic. So there's magic on the ring. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to throw those diamonds and the ring and the knife at his head.
I am writing this down, by the way, guys.
All right.
Okay.
If you're concerned.
On the rogue captain, you find magical studded leather, magical short sword, magical dagger, magical dart. That's it for her. On the paladin captain, you find a magical plate, magical cloak, magical shield, magical arming sword, magical dagger.
Oh, sorry. I need you to repeat that. That's I was still finishing up the
Okay.
Plate, cloak,
rogue.
shield, longsword, dagger.
Arming sword. It's the same statistic as a rapier, but it's period accurate.
Okay.
A rapier is for Renaissance. Arming sword is what the arming sword evolved into. It became rapier. But that's what it was during the Middle Ages. It was called an arming sword, and it was the favored weapon of the knights. Nearly as long as a long sword, but was made to be used single hand. So that's why I say I use the same thing as the rapier, because it really is a rapier, but for the Middle Ages. And 1 diamond, being able to cast Revivify. There are an incredible quantity of bits and pieces of archers in the street, including a lot of short sword and long bows that are not magical. A lot of pieces of guards with spears, short sword, chainmail, shields, all of them non-magical. So if you want to take some, you can. Otherwise, no. Good quantity of half plates. It's going to take a while if you want to unarmor everyone. Non-magical arming sword, non-magical daggers. On the bodies of all of the little priests, you find a grand total of 12 diamonds that can be used to cast Revivify. And a lot of non-magical mace, a lot of non-magical daggers, and a lot of non-magical shield, and a lot of non-magical scale mail.
Huh. Is that coin still cursed, I wonder? Okay.
No, it's not. It's not worth checking.
Okay, since something's got removed, so the rogue captain had studded leather, short sword.
The rogue
I think they added that.
captain had magical studded leather, magical short swords, 2, magical dagger, and 16 magical darts.
Okay, that was the. That, and what was the name of the last group? Because like I have the high priest, the priest captain, the rogue captain. Who was the last one that had like all the magical stuff?
The paladin captain?
Okay, that's what I needed.
Okay.
I tried to organize it by who it was obtained from, so that you know whose loot to look through when
All right.
being called for.
All right.
There's a lot of different cloaks and daggers and all that, so and plates and
Well, you know, it's like playing classic Baldur's Gate. Everyone you killed, you can actually take the armor, weapons, and equipment they had. You ended up with so much stuff.
But yeah, I don't think we really need to worry too much about the mundane stuff, because from what I remember, most of the mundane stuff in this realm are patchwork and
Yeah.
probably not worth carrying around.
Mm-hmm.
Like they literally creamed their jeans when we showed them like the basic bitch stuff that we brought from another realm.
All right. All right. Well, with this, I think it's a good place to take our break. It's the usual time. And that way, I can ask my players what they think about what happened while no one's watching. All right. So, we'll take our little break. And when we come back, apparently, we're all going back to... Sorry. The last part of all of this, where everyone can finally go back home.
Home, home, home.
All right.
After the zombies.
Sweet home
See you in 15 minutes. Bye. Hello and welcome back. And as always, audience's camera is weird. Just give me a moment. I don't know why. That's odd. Alright. In that case, I believe I just have to do this. And it's gonna work. Yay. Hey! We got Sam full camera. Alright. So, after 1 hour passes, everyone's starting to gather. And this...
Actually, there is one thing he's going to make sure to do before the hour is done.
Yes.
Since he was told that they were only going to work for an hour anyway, Raimi is going to go to the bodies of the high priest and what appeared to be, I guess, his two high-ranking officials.
Okay.
And he's just going to casually throw the disintegration daggers at their bodies so that they... Basically, so that they have no possibility of ever coming back.
Okay. So, after Remy took everything and placed everything into a cart and people are starting to gather, you see Remy arriving next to their corpse and just taking the dagger and throwing it on one, and you simply see the dagger. It goes in, and then suddenly you start hearing the bodies of these people just crunching and being pulled into this little ball the size of a marble as you see these little splash of blood coming, hearing the bone and just being pulverized slowly into this little tiny little ball. You immediately see a few people in the street just go.
I eat the balls. I'm kidding. No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, balls! I gotta eat them.
Oh my gosh, balls! I gotta eat them. Kobayashi 2024.
2024.
Yeah, well, we had for the nicknames we had Double Tap Remy, and now we have Tobiyashi, the ball eater. We only need a nickname for Fisher and audience, and we're gonna have a full group. I want to see the credit of this. So yeah, it's fascinating and disturbing and a new image for Remy to remember forever.
As you do.
You probably have that little thought of, oh God, that must hurt so bad when it happens while you're still alive.
Yes, it's a good thing he... You know what? It's a good thing that he saved them just in case.
You know, as you see this happening, you were hearing a little bit of noise from everyone, from the villagers arriving. Some of them were still complaining about everything that happened, and then suddenly this happened, and then you hear nothing.
It's like, you know what? Maybe this is the wrong time and place to complain.
Who's next?
But yes, Ravi just wanted to make absolutely certain that happened, just in case somebody decided to get frisky and bring their bodies back for a revenge trip.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, the two priests were the most important because one of them has raised dead. So appetizing.
All right.
Yes?
The hammer, and then yeah, I guess once we got all the magic stuff, I'm ready to go.
Alright. So everyone starts gathering. The knight helps to push audience into a cart. You know, you've never realized just how strong these little things are. He's 5 foot tall. He's wearing a full plate armor. And he just drags audience as if it was a small child dragging a rag doll. Just pushes him on the cart effortlessly.
Sick.
Sick.
He comes to see you, Tobiashi. Are you still feeling it? Okay, that's good. Well, I'm hoping that you manage to go to the bathroom at least once a day because
I think you could reach down my throat and grab it.
he looks at you oozing from your wounds. He pokes one of your wounds. You just, ah!
It burns.
No, I think I don't want that inside of my gears. I'm good.
Remy?
Are you sure you want to have talons down your throat reaching out for a ball lost inside your stomach?
I guess not. I'll just wait.
Here, I'll get it.
Yes, stone and wood going down the esophagus.
Mm.
And metal.
Try to cough it up.
Oh, goodness.
Here, I saw some guy do this once at a bar, and I punch him in the stomach.
As I'm trying to like cat
5
hole it
points
up
of
my-
bludgeoning damage.
That work?
No, I think
I don't know.
Tobiashi's good.
Okay.
He's still vibrating.
You want me to try again?
No, please.
You're tearing out go. I feel like someone tried the same thing with audience, but there was a whole lot of bang inside of their punch. Maybe you should try that.
No, he said he didn't want it.
Hey,
I can use
maybe
my silk.
he's made out of jelly now. Maybe if he bursts, he's just gonna reform. Ask Remy to make him swallow one of his exploding dagger.
No, I think that would be an experiment for a time when that wouldn't immediately kill him. Not that I'm sure that there's ever a time where a dagger exploding in your stomach wouldn't immediately kill you, but
All right, fine then.
Terranav's party pooper.
It's not like it's the first time he got blown up. All right, so you all move your things into the cart. You see all the people staring at Remy and then going into their cart. You see Isalna and Azidra also helping out the people get into the cart. You know, one of them, probably Isalna, she looks at you, Fisher, and says, is the other guy, are we getting him or are we just letting him walk out?
the dude that just killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I think we're letting him walk away.
Okay.
He still seemed quite angry at everybody and told us to leave him alone.
Oh no, I'm just thinking that he's gonna be here alone for a very, very long time. That's okay. I understand both sides.
Yeah, so I think we should leave it as is.
All right. Well, everyone get in, and how are you gonna move all of these carts? You see the knight go, oh, well, that's definitely something that's going to be fun. Tie every cart together, let them mount goes, let them go. We don't need worms where we're going. Let me rephrase that. We don't need these worms where we're going.
Oh yeah, we're taking them with us. I forgot about that.
Yeah. A whole bunch of people that
Do
hates
we-
your guts.
Do we go take? Oh no, we can't go take the other village. They're too far away.
Yeah. Well,
With a deep sigh, especially if there doesn't appear to be any other solutions to it, Brady consigns himself to his fate as as he puts himself on mount duty for some of these carts.
How long did it take us to get to that other village, or from that other village to here?
2 days, I think.
I was gonna tell the knight to go there and come back, but I don't think he'd make it back in time for with all those people.
Well, the question is more, I don't think any of you will survive if he leaves there, go get another village while that storm comes in and get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the knight sees you, Remy, what are you doing? Are you trying to round up the worms, or are you trying to summon your ghost horses? Because you said you were on Mount Duty.
Oh. Okay, the joke there.
Okay.
So, no, when I said mount duty, I meant
Oh, okay.
like the duty of providing mounts. Or I guess because especially if it doesn't seem like anybody else has any alternative solutions.
No, that's what I mean. It's the moment where you seem to be trying to do something about mounts. You see the knight go, yeah, let it go, Remy. Let it go. Just breathe out. Get into the cart. You don't need to do anything. You do know you have a contextual lever, right?
Yes, he does.
I'm guessing with the blank stare on your face, you've never used it the way you're about to see this. Oh, man. They really tore out the imagination out of your body, didn't it? Okay. Alright. Come on, everyone. Get inside the carts. Anyone who wants to ride the first cart with me, you can. Otherwise, just take a cart. So who rides the front cart with him? With all of the other carts. There's probably 25 other carts all tied to this front cart.
Honestly, because Raimi wants to
I'm
see
going
this,
with
I think
him.
he picked the card where he has the best view of what's about to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. Tobiashi?
Whatever card I was closest to, I lay down in.
And then for the entire ride, it feels like someone left his phone on the floor.
Yeah.
All right, so with Fisher and Remy, you both flanking the knight as he's positioning himself on the cart. See, contextual levers. It's in the name. It's meant to be any kind of levers, including, and he takes it upright, puts it on the floor, waits a moment, pull it up slightly. The shaft seems to increase in length, and he just sits on it, and it feels like he has the oh good lord, the gear shift of a truck in his hand. All right, like a tank, I say. Okay, he pulls it once. You hear no, other way around. Sorry. And you feel the entire convoy just and starts moving. This is how you move something fast. Hold on, this can go much faster than this. The cart has no mount, it's just moving. He is using it as a... I keep forgetting the name in English. To shift the speed on a car.
Yeah.
The accelerator?
No, the sticks, the stick where you have all of the speed. You know, when you drive manual.
The gear shift.
The gear shift.
The gear shift.
Gearbox?
Okay. That's what
Clutch?
he has in his hand.
The stick.
Yeah,
The stick.
the stick. He is just holding this, and when he puts it in the first position, you start feeling the car just move by itself without any mounts in front of it. Then it hits you, Fisher. Ah, fuck, we didn't need a functioning train.
Fisher's just sitting there, just like mind blank, just like staring dumbly at what's happening.
He shifts speed, puts it in a different position, and you start feeling the speed increase. You know, you just went from probably the speed of a walking person to the speed of Remy's mounts. He looks at all of you as can go even faster, you know. He moves it to a third position, and it just starts picking up speed more and more and more. You start feeling the wind going. The town simply just disappears. That's a bit windy. Usually you should try and get something to cut off the wind when you're going this fast. I guess we probably are going to be there in about 2 hours. Maybe I should go just a little faster. And he pulls it in a fourth position. And then it just starts moving, probably as fast as the train went. We should be getting there in probably 20 to 30 minutes. Don't open your mouth. Bugs can get in. It hurts when you have to swallow them by force like this.
Spits out 3 bugs.
Remy just go, fuck, he's right.
Fisher's still trying to process what the fuck is happening.
He looks at you for a moment. Contextual lever. It can replace any type of lever. Any.
Just Fisher has never seen a gear shift before, correct?
Well,
Like that, is that how the train worked?
Well, the train, you were pushing on a lever to increase its speed.
Oh yeah, like a throttle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is why in your mind it just went, fuck, we didn't need a functioning train to move. I only had to use this.
Well, anyways, no.
How long did you know that's what this was?
You mean you've never seen one before? Oh no, never mind.
No, it was given to us by a gnome who didn't know what it was and was like, "Here, test this out and see what it does."
Well, you see, that gnome, he probably knew a bit about chaos magic. No, never mind. You don't know what that is.
Sorry, did you say chaos magic?
Well, no, that's it. Well, that's probably the best description, but still, it's not exactly that. The thing is that you need the gift to be able to understand what it's going to do. Just like the language.
Is this some otherworld magic shit?
I don't know. I've only been to my world and this world.
Yeah, no, I guess that makes sense.
But here's the thing. You need to have the gift. If you don't have it, you can't know what's gonna happen. This is why I know it's contextual lever. Because this incarnation of me does have the gift.
And by the gift, what's the gift?
Of knowing.
Like,
It's just like
Like-
the language. It's impossible to understand that language. Even with magic, you're just gonna give yourself a headache.
okay.
But if you have the gift, you can understand it. You can even speak it. It's the same thing with this. I'm guessing you don't have the gift. And probably the gnome didn't have the gift, but he knew what he was doing. In the sense that he wouldn't know what he was doing.
Okay. None of that made sense, but I'm gonna pretend it did.
So I'm guessing your gnomes are tempering with magic that they don't know what it's going to do, but they do it intentionally. That's sort of messed
Yeah,
up.
that's the only thing they do. They don't mess with magic that they know what it's gonna do.
I can understand why.
That's actually how I got Terry.
Oh, that's good. Wait,
There's one gnome that likes to make random potions, and then he gives you a deal if you drink one to test it out.
and you actually do. That's interesting to know about your
I
species.
did a couple times. The most recent one ended up with terrible consequences, so I think I'm gonna stop.
Well, that's good. I guess you're growing wiser.
Sure,
All right.
I'd like to think so.
That's not reassuring what you just said, but that's okay. I've heard worse.
Well, at least now I know how bad I am at it. You know, you get into that curve where it's like at first you have no idea 'cause you don't know enough to know how much you don't know.
Yeah, I understand that. That's pretty accurate. That's the problem with a lot of mages. They start learning thing and then they think they know everything, and then suddenly they realize they know just enough to know that they don't know anything. That's when they become interesting. Or go mad. It's one or the other.
Oh, nice. Good to know.
Alright, I think we're almost there.
Okay.
I guess we're gonna have to slow down progressively, because otherwise I'm not sure that the last cart has proper braking abilities.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not the one to ask about that.
Alright, hold on. He just slowly pushes the lever back into the third position. We're just gonna let it stop on its own. Throughout the next 10 minutes, he just lets the entire convoy of cart lose its speed by itself, just removing slowly the speed of the head cart and letting the other follow back. Sometimes you see this caterpillar effect where he just slows down a little bit and you see all of the other carts suddenly approaching and then slowing down. And then minutes after minutes, the entire convoy starts to stop, slow down and then stop, and then come to complete and full stop. You see the knight turn around, look at the other carts, and yeah. Hey, good news! You're all alive! There's always a chance that contextual lever will blow up. You never know.
Wait, what?
Well, I was pushing a theoretical engine. So who knows how far it could go. Here you go. He hands the lever back to Remy.
So just to be clear, like the lever pulled out in a way that was different from the way that he did it once before, right?
Slightly. If you place it on the ground, on something that is not fixed to the ground, either that has wheels or just a long board or anything, it suddenly becomes a vehicle.
Oh no, I'm just like, because like the last time he like did the pulling on the lever, like it didn't work on Fisher except for pulling off like the handle and flushing him.
That's because what you were using it on was not detached from the ground or didn't have wheels.
Yeah, so again, that's why I'm like, I'm making absolutely certain this is different.
Yeah,
so that Raimi knows that the thing is different.
And
so that he knows it.
It's a contextual use. That's where the name comes from. It will differ on different things that you use them. So now you know what happens if you use it on something that can move.
Mm-hmm.
It's something different is going to happen if you put it on the floor in front of a castle in the lowest part of a dungeon, or something different is going to happen every single time. The context might be the same, but like you just saw, it has variants of what it's doing. The context is always open or closed, but there are some elements where the context changes.
I'm just making sure that Raimi knows that it is a possibility so that he can apply it to future things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll always work. You technically could put it on a sleigh and it's going to work.
Put it on the toilet and then it's forever flushing. If there were toilets.
Put it all the way up and all the way down, it's going to magically flush forever. Tobiyashi, do you want to know what's at the bottom of the toilet?
No.
You mean no?
Yeah.
No.
All right. So, you have that moment of, oh, good lord. Okay, that was a whole lot of information. Interesting, useful, and scary information. And then you turn around and you see the base of that mountain. There's a wall now. There's actually 3 levels of walls.
They were busy.
Well, he did say that he was using the lever to maneuver a crane. You don't know what a crane is, but he does.
Well, Raimi knows what a crane is.
Just not the kind of crane he is.
But
That's an animal. That's a burn.
Yeah, just like it was just like it's like, oh yeah, just like put the lever on a crane and somehow it works.
It turns ginormous and can suddenly lift rocks.
I want to try and figure out how Remy's mind might work. You know, he creates the illusion of a crane, he takes the lever, and he puts it on the crane. And he looks at everything that's there, and he's not sure how that's going to help, but apparently it does. Does it actually look like this?
I think the closest thing I could really think of, like in terms of like conceptually, what Raimi can actually imagine is just a giant crane coming by, like bird, and then just like dropping the wall off on the mountain.
Yeah.
You know, like much how like other like birds can theoretically carry things and like build a nest or whatever. That's probably the closest Raimi can possibly get to imagining what a crane does and how it can achieve what he is now seeing.
Yeah. And now he has the image of a crane with a lever on his back. Somehow it works. Somehow.
It just works.
Yeah, and especially with all of the information that you just heard the knights say. You know, K something magic. Fisher called it chaos magic, but maybe he was going somewhere else. You don't know because he never finished his sentence. And you know that it's the kind of magic that you don't know what it's going to do, but some people do it because they know they don't know what they're doing. And that's what they want to know.
And some people are just born with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But probably the gnomes in the garden aren't. Otherwise, they would not ask you to do this. All right. So,
But I can actually imagine something more dangerous than like a wild magic sorcerer gnome.
all right. So, oh, actually, there was a lot of wind. Audience probably enjoyed that. He doesn't know because he's unconscious, but there was a whole lot of air, and you know there was a little bit of swaying, and it felt like you were in a car. It usually calms people, you know, the hum of the engine. Well, except for Tobiashi, who is just going through that, but worse.
You know, it's kind of like the purring of a cat.
But inside your stomach. So slowly, everything gets unpacked. You see, well, Azidra and Isalna probably more have an expression of wonder and fascination in front of everything that just happened. Most of the villager have a look of terror on their eyes at the possibility of moving this fast for this long a time and, you know, having a bug hit you that can hit you so bad that you get injured and you can't heal unless you drink holy water. That's scary, that thing that just happened.
It's like, duck.
They all have this very livid, both skin and eyes, as they just watch this nervous. You can hear some say, "What happened? Where are we? Are we dead?"
Fisher goes to say something, but then remembers them all getting angry and decides not to.
Maybe just raises a hand and gives the A-OK sign.
You know, they sort of look at you, this face. Uh-huh. All right, come on, everyone, get out. We need to take a little break. We have some people that needs to rest a little bit. You know, we can slowly move up the mountain. Take your belonging. You don't need a whole lot. Get the wounded up there. It's yeah, we're probably don't worry about healing them. By tomorrow, they're gonna start healing by themselves. That's probably exactly what you hear when he says this. No one says anything. That concept doesn't make sense. All right, I'm gonna help get audience off of the cart. I think he's a bit heavy for most of them. He just drags audience out. It's sort of weird to see something that can generate this much power so that audience feels weightless in his arms, but can actually take him out of the cart with so much gentleness, unlike Fisher's sister.
Fair.
Maybe tries flexing a muscle, then it bends downward like a
Yeah. Okay. Uh, maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you know. I want to think that Terranad probably did the joke at least once. You know, I think that Remy is so weak, he wouldn't even be able to tear Audience's shirt by himself.
what Terranet doesn't realize is that it's sexier when he does it.
All right. So, Audience, it's been probably an hour and a half.
Well, yeah, an hour and a half by this point.
Yeah. I realized that, oh no, that's right. You've been sleeping for an hour and a half. You're probably starting to at least stir up a little bit.
I mean, audience was going to be maybe asleep for 8 hours unless someone wakes him up.
Okay. Oh, in that case. No, well, in that case, there's no problem. He just starts helping everyone. He gets you up the 3 levels.
Audience's soul was near death. Audience is not waking up for at least 8 hours.
In that case, he pulls you all the way to the 3rd wall, near the portal itself. While everyone is unpacking their things and getting ready to get all of the woundeds up there and whatever belonging they took. You know, it sort of dawns on you, when you look at all of them leaving the carts. You know, this was a town. This was a big town. There was probably anywhere between 500 and maybe 700 or 800 people. But they all fit on a total of 10 carts. Those are the survivors of this town. There's probably less than 200 survivors.
Oof.
Many of them are injured.
That doesn't feel great.
They all...
Fisher feels a little bad about getting angry at them. How he realizes how many didn't make it.
Yeah. And in normal circumstances, even more would die. Because, like the knight just said, in a few days, they're going to be able to start healing by themselves, just by crossing, by leaving this realm. But in normal circumstances, you'd need a large reserve of holy water to be able to help all of those people heal, which was probably either a very guarded resource or this many people needing assistance would have meant that many of them would die. But they're probably not. They're going to be facing a world that they've never imagined. One that but you've been there for so long, it's sort of slightly fading in the back of your mind. How the warmth of the sun feel, how life feels a little bit. Because you've been in a stagnant place for nearly 3 weeks. And before that?
Yeah, we haven't seen the sun in months.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly.
Raimi has been very stressed about this, by the way.
Well, after what you
watch out for that vitamin D deficiency, man.
I mean, besides, like a few minutes ago, like he might be okay with not having exposure to some sunlight, at least for like maybe a day.
No, for all of you, it's been a weird experience. First of all, you haven't seen any moons in months. Before that, unless it was completely cloudy, that's the longest time you went without a moon. 1-2 days. But you always knew it was there on the other side of the clouds. It was just a question of being in the right place. So sometimes you just need to keep traveling during the night, and you'd see one moon. Hey, but now, no moons. And the only time you lived through a moment without moons, bad things kept happening because an evil god just kept watching over you. But now it feels like you've been watched over by this god for a few months. Remy, you probably have that moment, that little thought that grows into your mind. Hey, we should probably be approaching the new year. For Remy, that's probably a very, very loved moment of the year because of what happens in the sky. There is this huge equivalent of the Northern Lights that covers the entire world for several days.
And now it's occurring to him like, shit, how much time has passed? Did I miss it?
How many times did I miss it?
I only get so many of those. Wait, am I aging properly here? Slower? More quickly? How does this realm work?
What's happening?
Oh, Remy, you got some gray feathers there.
Oh, and you're missing one over there. No, I'm losing my hair.
Actually, the really funny part about that whole thing is that because of the one heal that Oranak gave him, it's like Raimi is the only one in the party who walked out of that fight with his full hit points.
Well, but aside from audience, you're probably the one who came out of this the most traumatized. Because you saw audience fall and get up, fall and get up, fall and get up, fall. But still alive.
It's both encouraging, but also very scary.
Roller coaster of emotion for Remy. You don't know why, you just feel exhausted right now. You just want to sleep under a sky that has moons in it and stars.
In the protective arms of a beautifully shiny dragonborn man.
But right now you're gonna have to make do with audience sleeping. It's a good second prize. So slowly you all get your things of the 3 layers, and a makeshift camp appears around the gate. Wow, that sounded weird in the microphone. I was scared that you were actually vomiting for real.
Oh.
So, audience, you are carefully placed on a relatively comfortable bedroll. Everyone else tries to settle in as best they can. Zidra and Isalna are going through the wounded, just helping to reassure them, letting them know that don't worry, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine, it's not gonna hurt for a whole lot of time. Just a little bit of time, and she uses a bit of her own power to help heal a few people. The camp is being set up. The night during the day goes back down and starts locking up each of the barricades. Meanwhile, you're left there, surrounded by the survivors, some of them traumatized by what happened in the village, some of them traumatized by the ride here, and some of them traumatized by the idea of their reality just changing so much. They don't even need to care that they have wounded? What the heck is that? Some of them are even worried that it's actually a ploy to just wean out more people. Leave the wounded behind, sort of thing. There's a general...
That's crazy.
Yeah. Changing realm, changing laws of existence. That's so weird. You're being left at the camp for a little bit. At one point, Isalna and Izidra just gather around all of you. So, are you... Isalna talks to either you, Fisher, or Remy, because I'm pretty sure Tobiashi is already sleeping, or he's just sitting on the rock and it's trying to go to sleep, but it's not working because he keeps vibrating because he ate something he should have taken, not eaten. Just like a child, he just put everything in his mouth. So Isalna said, so are you ready to leave this place? I mean, if it all works, you do.
Oh my God, yes.
You do remember the address we're going to, right?
Yep,
Okay, good.
I got it.
Good.
867. No, sorry. It's 22 Jump Street.
Well, they'll be jumping somewhere.
Right. This is a bit unreal. We've been stuck here for a while now. And what about the knight? He's been here for so long, no one knows when he actually got here except himself. And he just doesn't say it.
Kind of feels like at this point he's not even sure how long he's been here.
Well, maybe.
Unfortunately, he has a a nuclear clock. He knows exactly how much time he's been here.
Yeah. Can you imagine being here for hundreds and hundreds of years?
Not really, that would suck.
Maybe minor illusions, the image of a rotting apple.
Yeah, well, you don't even get that here. You know, I've heard that when you leave something to decompose, but there are no funguses around, things eventually turns into sludge. Brown, black sludge. It's actually very flammable. I've heard.
Gross.
Yeah. So
20 sessions later, Raimi has explosive sludge bombs.
what are you gonna call it? I don't know. The refined version.
Oh shit! Is
Let's call it.
that what's been happening to Toby?
Yes. Right. Tobiashi's not healing also because audience used to heal everyone. You just keep looking like a half melted ice cream, Tobiashi.
I'm melting into like one of the commoners' like clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you hear, kid. Ah, Mom, the guy melted in my things again.
Slowly still draws his tongue to lick it.
Blech.
Tastes like rainbow sugar. No,
No, orange.
orange sugar.
Yeah. It's like licking an orange slushy. No, that's sorry. It's if we freeze you, and then we put you in the blender. That's.
But I don't know how to use Blender.
I know a little bit. Let me show you. No, I'm just kidding. This has now become the Blender tutorial. No.
And now for today's sponsor.
Yes, first sponsor. Zidra, so where are you going exactly? How's that world look like? I don't think I've ever been to your world.
Well, I think we're gonna end up in the middle of a mountain range.
Okay.
It's sunny.
You hear sound of the. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I felt the sun. So how many suns are there in your world?
One.
Okay. So there's vegetation. That's good. So like,
Yep. They're plants, trees, all sorts of stuff. Oceans.
Oceans. Oh, how many moons?
3?
2.
Right? 2.
We joked in a previous session how awful it would be if our place had a third moon.
Uh-huh.
That's what you're probably remembering.
2 of them.
Right. All right. So you probably have pretty severe tides. Oh, that's gonna be. You have to remember this if we start traveling.
Yeah, most of the world's broken up into like chains of islands. So like traveling like between them is pretty easy, but one like between islands in a chain's pretty easy. But once you get going into like bigger open ocean, it's pretty rough. But
Here, Zedra. So it's mostly an ocean world then. Oh, I haven't seen a lot of them. She turns to Selna and Remy. You hear again that, sir, you've seen that, but everyone else you just hear. So have you seen a lot of ocean world? Selna just looks at Zedra and all of you. It's always interesting. A lot of very, very convincing reefs. Some of them move. Do you have moving reefs? It's been a while since I saw moving reefs. How about coral beds? I was in the world once where there was this huge coral bed that just kept moving every single night. I learned later on that it was actually a huge creature under it, just moving, and it's fascinating.
I have yet to see that, but
What are the most
I
fascinating?
haven't seen a lot of stuff, so who knows, maybe.
What are things that are fascinating about your world? You see Zedra just. They wouldn't know. Of course, Remy, you hear, sir, they wouldn't know. I guess you're right. You've always lived into your world. You don't know it's fascinating compared to other worlds.
Mm-hmm.
What do you find fascinating about your world?
Sure, boy. Well, I guess people like me aren't made sentient, but we've started gaining it, which is kind of nifty.
Interesting feature.
Yeah, it's a feature, not a bug.
Well, some of them would argue, but spontaneously creating artificial life. That's arcane life. You must have a pretty intense arcane flow in your world for this.
In some spots, definitely.
Sponsored by Sentience.
We've definitely bumped into a seems like possibly a greater than what should be normal amount of portals.
Wait, we're not taking a bet. Wait, never mind.
What?
The garden that we have with the roses and stuff. Are we taking them back there?
Maybe.
Like all of them?
Probably ask them, but I mean, we're gonna end up in the mountains, so it's gonna be. Well, I guess it would be a ways, but if we can just stick the lever on like a cart and just, man, that's gonna cut down on travel times.
What if we
As long as
like
it doesn't
bring the
blow
carts
up.
with us? We could bring the carts with us through the portal.
Maybe.
Well, the fewer things you take to a different world, the less chance there are of having unforeseen consequences. You never know what's going to happen when you bring exotic elements into another world. You don't know. Maybe your world will have an adverse reaction to the wood of this world. It might just burst into flame.
We teleport and like the
Man,
people meld into the cart. It's like a cart person.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you wouldn't know because you don't breathe. But you could have stepped into this world and the air wouldn't have been breathable. You would have been okay.
Wait, do I
your
breathe
friend would
anymore?
Your friend would have died.
Damn, that would have really sucked for you guys.
Yeah, well, that's why druids take many precaution when they travel between planes.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. What else is interesting about our world? I don't know, conflicting, origin stories.
Skyships.
Those are pretty
Ships that can
cool.
fly.
The
There's a
exile are
couple
kind of
of
weird.
dragons with dragons with religions around them.
Well, that happens with every primitive tribes.
I don't know what the Shatter, if you guys know what the Shatter is, but there's a bunch of different islands shattered into pieces. Uh,
Yeah,
things leaking in
that's what he
from
was saying
shards.
about your world being made of a whole bunch of island chain.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's part of the religion of your world. The story of your world, shattering something interesting, interesting.
Yeah, it kind of depends on who you talk to, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's the general gist.
I have this book. I go to reach for the book that was in my bag. Wait, it was somewhere over here. Wait, wait a minute. Where the hell did it go? Well, it was history, but I guess I lost it.
You have a zebra that looks at you. That's okay. That's okay. It. We understand. It. Just a suggestion. You're a new life form. No one knows how long you actually live. You might, you know, reaching that point where memory is not so good. If
I
it's the case,
swear.
don't worry. Don't
You know,
worry.
that's rough, buddy.
Wait, no, I'm getting gaslit right now. I remember what was written on it. It was about dragons, and I showed you the book, Fisher. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I remember you showed me the book. I'm kind of bummed you lost it.
It has to be somewhere around here.
You hear a small child say, "My parents say that when I lose something, I have to retrace my step."
I look behind
Yeah.
us.
All right,
That's
Toby,
a
you
little
gotta
bit.
go back. Sorry.
All right, I'm taking the lever. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
No, it went all the way to position 4. I think there are 6 positions on this.
Shit. I'll stay on call with the guy. Be like, oh, okay, so what position? 6, right?
You hear the knight. Do you know what this? How do I explain this? Do you know what the speed of sound is?
No.
Right. Don't go on position 6.
Just imagine that you are traveling faster than your screams.
Okay, all right.
When you reach your destination, your screams, you're gonna hear your own screams. It's okay. Well, see Salna and Isidra. Well, that you have a pretty interesting world. It's gonna be interesting to go exploring for a little while. Maybe we'll stay on your world, just a
Look
little
out
bit.
for the sexy bird girls. They attack every once in a while.
You see Salna and Isidra just looking at themselves, at each other, looking at you.
I think you guys might have been onto something with that. Getting old. Mine's starting to go thing.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel better than I ever have. I'm melting.
Did Tobiyashi develop a fetish?
Well, the thing is that you're really hard to be taken seriously because while you're saying this, you have to remember that actually you're saying, "But no, I don't remember doing this. It's okay."
I guess near
Yeah.
is This mountain range around where we fought the weird,
It is the mountain where we encounter the
Soul of the mountain.
Yeah.
well, it's like
Yeah, I
yeah, it's
remember.
like but immediately before that we had fought the Paratons,
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was.
which is what Tobiyashi is referring.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
They're the other ones.
The other ones.
From after that. Right? Outside the village, or is that the same place we're talking about?
I think that's the same one.
Yeah, we went to
almost
that
got
village to
carried
take
away.
care of
Okay. Well, I didn't know if the
things.
soul of the mountain was that thing. That it was that diamond, well, not diamond thing, but
It was the
elemental thing we
yeah.
fought.
It was the well. You didn't fight it. You were smart enough not to. Well, audience was far smart enough not
that's-
to.
Todd, that is a different mountain.
That is a different. Okay. That's what I was thinking
I
of.
think he was talking about the crystalline thing that we
Oh.
fought in the
Yeah.
Drakenmemoria.
That's underground, under the mountain.
Okay.
Is that same range?
Yeah, except that
Okay.
one is the extreme north of it, and the other one is the middle of it. But yeah. There are theory that says that this mountain range is actually a dragon who reached the highest level of physical growth he can reach and just became the mountain when he
Got all the Dragon Balls.
Don't say ball, don't say ball. Look, Tobiyashi's getting excited again.
He's like, what? Huh?
Start slobbering.
Balls. Alright.
Dude, stop melting. You're embarrassing yourself. Pull
Alright.
yourself together.
I'm sorry. Am I melting around around here? My mouth.
Alright.
Can I not heal myself with my key? Does that still not work
No,
since
your
it's not
key works.
divine?
Your key works.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start doing that if we're gonna rest. I only have 2 left. Oh wait, no, I have 3 since I took the silk off of the thing.
Alright, so you have this little bit of conversation, and then eventually everyone settles in and eat whatever they can. And the night comes back. Alright, well, everything's prepared. Every single level has been secured. The mountain is ready to take on the enemy. Well, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge holding out all of these lines by myself. Here, Zedra and Iselna just go, oh no, we'll be there. They can probably do this on their own. They know what they're doing, right? Right?
Yeah. Just give us a minute to stop being dead, and then we're good.
All right, I'm a little bit less melted.
You're starting to look like a fresh orange sorbet now. Right. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, you should probably sleep a little bit because tomorrow, well, we'll see how audience feels. But tomorrow we might be doing this. We only have 2 days at most, so let's hope he's finish recovering by then. Otherwise, we'll have a whole lot more than just undeads to take care of. Right, so Fisher, you want to come and watch the perimeter with me?
Sure, why not?
All right.
I melt into a cup and sleep. My eyes are just
Instead of a
peeking out over
bed,
the
you
top.
have a bowl now.
Yeah, I just have a bowl, and it's like hanging from my silk, like from a tree or something.
Someone brought a dead potted plant. You just take the dead plant and you pour yourself inside.
Ah, nice and cozy.
Just like a cat. He just pours himself in.
Remy walks by like, oh, a jar of orange juice, finally.
And he starts drinking Tobiashi. Then someone arrives and says, "Where's Tobiashi?"
An empty pot with my silk around it.
That's just buzzing quietly.
A buzzing
Oh wow,
pot.
yeah, it's like it would be orange juice with a magnetic mixer inside. I see they call it an agitator. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be using one tomorrow. All right. So, actually, the knight takes you on one of the walls he made. Yeah, I just wanted to not worry everyone. I just wanted to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Last time I talked with your other half, you remained a little bit vague on some details. I just want to know, how are my kins doing? I mean, it's obvious the war is over, and they would never have surrendered. So, it either ended in a stalemate, or we won. And I'm worried about this. Because if we won, then we don't have a purpose anymore.
Well, I mean, the ones I know seem to have found a purpose. They seem to be on some kind of research mission, kind of also helping out our world and
But how,
fighting some god stuff.
but how do they move on?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that. They don't like to talk about stuff outside of our world. And generally, definitely get the vibe of some intense trauma that none of them want to talk about. But now they seem to be doing all right.
Well,
If that makes you feel better.
but that's the thing. You can't know if they're all right. You can't know if we're all right. Those like me.
Now, why don't we ask when we get there?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be nice. Having this knowledge. Having knowledge before the time, it's always better. Being able to prepare for what comes.
Yeah. Although also sometimes thinking you know what's coming can throw you off more than going in with no expectations.
Well, that's the thing with us. I mean, those like me, I've have the feeling that there are many arcane creature living in your world. And that garden that came into your world just made you see a few new ones. But as I understand, there's only a few of them that are like me in that garden.
Yeah.
The models that came after, I'm pretty sure that they're fine. But those like me, we don't live the way you do.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're not as resilient, and the thing is, when you live forever, you accumulate bad memories, bad things. You lose friends. You make new ones and you lose them again. For mortal race, dying can be a release. Because you forget about all of these trauma. And you start over again in a new body. And your spirit moves on, becomes more. But Mykians aren't like that. They never thought about this when they made us. We were made. We were built by those who had lost hope the war would one day end. To protect those who could not protect themselves. We have no end. They always relied on the fact that eventually we would fall in combat, and this is how we die. But if there is no combat, what happened to those who lose their mind? How are they resetted? Are they doomed to slowly grow more and more insane? And become the very thing they feared all their life of becoming?
I don't really have an answer for you there. I guess what I could say is the garden seems to be pretty smart and have a lot of resources at their disposal, especially when it comes to research into magical stuff. So if there was a place to find an answer to that question, the garden would be a pretty good place to do that.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they found the solution in thousands of years. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. I've only been sentient for like 4 now, so I'm a little ways off from that particular existential crisis.
Well, up until I saw the date on your communication device, I thought I'd only been here for a few hundred years. And before that, a few more.
Only a few hundred?
Well, this version of me, anyway. My body is much older, and many more versions have come before. Always warriors. But they said that this one was the best version yet. See, we are all made exactly the same. We were manufactured exactly the same way. But when we wake up, when we activate, there are a few variables that just coalesce inside of us, giving us different elements. This is what changes our personality. This is what changes our gifts, our abilities, our confidence. This is what changes us. But we don't remember anything when we come back. Nothing of our past life remains. It is exactly like you when you die and come back. But we can't do this naturally. And if we don't, eventually the strain becomes too much and we go insane. And we break our oath. We become the danger. Until someone kills us. And the cycle starts again.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
Well, they were desperate when they made us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not good at comforting people.
Oh no, I'm not trying to be comforted. I know it eventually is going to happen. I'm surprised that it didn't happen already. Maybe this world has something to do with it, this stagnant nature. Maybe it protected me in some way, made sure that decay did not happen inside of me.
You worried about that happening soon?
No one ever knows. Some of us, some incarnation of us, are more resilient than others. It's the same thing as coping with trauma. Some people can cope with an incredible amount of trauma and others can't. They fold after the smallest of things. And others just keep on living through hardship time after time after time. And they just keep getting back up. Those last longer. You never know. But it is a fear we all live with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever happens, thank you for being honest with me.
Yeah, no problem. And if you feel yourself starting to go crazy, I don't know, let us know or
Well,
run away.
usually we don't notice it. It's usually the people around us that notice it. If you ever
Alright.
see one of us starting to hear voice, that can be a sign. Or it can just be a faulty communication. But
A fisher hears a voice inside.
always has one.
Oh,
He's batshit crazy, that's why.
I've been insane this whole time. The whole campaign's just been a hallucination that Fisher's.
Yeah.
While he runs around murdering people in his grove.
You know, audience is just a manifestation of Fisher. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, audience's shine is actually just a reflection of the shine of Fisher.
internal thing. Yeah. Well, in case one of us
Yeah.
don't make it tomorrow or the day after, we'll see. Please take care of my people. But if we all make
Yeah.
it, there's no problem. All right, I can finish the rest of the night. If you want to go back to your friends, you can. I just wanted to know this.
All right. Yeah. Well, let me know if you ever need anything.
I get the feeling that you're all going to be the one needing more things before all this is over.
Yeah, I know.
Well, just remember, I'll be keeping the walls. I'm pretty sure Isalna and Isidra are going to insist on helping me defend the walls. So that means it's going to leave all four of you, well, six of you if you take everyone out, to activate the portal, enter the coordinate, and then run back to the open portal where a lot of people are going to be freaked out by the fact that there is this huge ring that seems to have an opening to another world, inviting them, in which they've never seen, and then they're going to go into a world where suddenly they're going to feel the blood flowing into their body once again.
We just bring back a whole bunch of zombies at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be here defending the ground, but you never know. Something might come flying in, so that's going to be your job. Assuming that there's no surprise over there. You know, there could be booby traps left behind. This used to be a magical laboratory.
Hey. Well, yeah. As long as you guys got the walls, we'll take care of everything in here.
Leave an open comm, and we'll let you know how things are progressing. But with the amount of undead in the area, I'm guessing that you won't have more than a few minutes to get from the pedestal where you have to put the key in and to the portal. Should be enough, but
How far is it?
oh, maybe 1,000 yard.
Alright. We can do that in a few minutes, as long as it's not covered in zombies.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna be here for. But who knows? Maybe flying things might come in, and I can't be everywhere at once, fortunately. And remember, don't leave the key on the pedestal. Last thing we need is for someone else to figure
Everybody
out.
following us out, yeah.
Yeah, take the
What about-
key with you.
What about them, though? Are they coming? I feel like this is goodbye.
Don't worry. I'm gonna make sure that Azidra and Isalna are going to be at the base of the portal. I can take
The portal's gonna stay open after we take the key out, right?
for a few moments. Yeah, a few minutes. This is why I say don't take more than a few
Okay.
minutes.
Good. Cool. Then yeah, we got this.
All right. Well, sleep well then, or rest well. Conserve your energy
Yeah.
well. How do you call your thing anyway?
I like to call it Century Rest because that's what I'm always doing.
Oh, okay. That's very militaristic name. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
I guess it
my
depends
background.
on how.
So
Yeah, I guess it depends on how you were raised. So, military background, huh? Martial background, I mean.
yeah,
Interesting to know.
or I mean, yeah, for my sentient life.
Well, it helps to bring focus, so it's always good. Let's hope you have a long
Yeah.
life. Not too long. There's always a point where you just want to die. Alright, go
Yeah.
back to your friends. I'm sure they miss you.
Okay.
Well, at least one of them misses you.
Yeah, no, we'll see.
All right. So you go back to your friend. You notice Tobiashi has managed to fall asleep. Remy fell asleep
That
watching
man is
Tobiashi
wild.
vibe.
Well, actually, because of, like potential situations for the, I hesitate to say next day. It's like in the next 24-hour cycle. Maybe at least wanted to like try to identify some things before you went to bed.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, how many
Like,
identify do you want to cast?
The
Yeah.
well, I'm going to like
Help
focus
with
on the
some of
things
those.
that might have some immediate use, so, and then work our way.
Okay.
Uh, like for example, for example, thinking of Fisher, probably try to identify the two plate armors, one from the Paladin Captain and one from the High Priest.
All right. Pretty standard. They don't have any special powers or ability, but both of them are +2 plate mail. No, not plate mail, just plate.
Plate armor.
Plate armor.
+2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The
Which one looks
Well,
so that's
probably the paladin looks the most imposing. The priest looks more regal. The paladin looks imposing.
I guess I'd like go for a more regal.
then he'll because I think as far as I'm seeing here, only one of them had two of them had magical shields. Yeah, so the shields of the priest and the paladin captain.
Once again, no special power, but they are +2 shields.
Well, that explains where the AC stacking was coming from. Then let's cover. Might as well cover the studded leather, even though I probably know the answer to that one.
Studded letter. Oh yeah, they're captains, so I gave them all +2.
I mean, it's detecting a theme. It's,
Yeah, the high priest got the magical staff that was +3, but 3, but everything else was +2. But the lieutenant got everything +2, and then the small fry got +1s and normal stuff.
which case, then I think like the last things he'll do for the evening, since this would be taking a bit.
I can also do some. Cause...
So I'm imagining like this is what he would have been doing while you were off. I'm not sure how long that would have been.
Uh-huh.
Well, live it's 3/4 of an hour, but
Uh-huh.
talking, getting there, getting back, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that would have been about 55 minutes. Might as well cover the two cloaks of the priest and paladin.
Cloaks are standard cloaks +1. Cloak of protection +1.
Okay, I was like, what?
Plus one cloak. You get a +1 to attack and damage if you whip somebody with the cloak.
It has to be wet
You
though.
get +1 to performance checks to make something disappear under the cloak.
Well, see, that's the towel of whipping.
Yes.
And if you roll a critical on a stealth, you disappear, and you don't know where you reappear.
Then might as well tackle the ring that the priest captain had.
Ring of protection +1.
Had all their attunement slots filled.
I'm going to assume I could probably assume, but I guess like the arming sword identify probably comes out to be a +1 or
The arming sword, well,
Of the paladin captain.
the one of the paladin captain is a +2, but the normal paladin is no plus.
well, yeah, we only collected the magical
Oh,
ones
okay,
for
okay, yeah, sure. That's right. That's right.
again, it's more about like the non-magical stuff was just not going to be of any quality. Well, not I hesitate to say of any quality, but like again, previous conversation
Mhm,
about
mhm.
how
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's because like I'm beginning to suspect that like all of this stuff is just like plus stuff.
Well, yeah, the most magical object was the quarterstaff of the priest, and it got destroyed. For balancing purpose, I had to limit myself to extremely powerful magical object, just one in the entire group. Because if they all had special magical object, you would have been torn apart. Which you almost were.
I mean, okay, so that was the priority stuff. So maybe we'd be able to identify two more things before, or maybe one more thing before Fisher gets back. So I guess the dagger on the high priest was probably a +2.
The high priest. Yes.
Okay. All right, then from there, Fisher, the stuff that's been left unidentified is the priest captain's half plate, the priest captain's quarterstaff and dagger, the rogue captain's weapons, and the dagger of the paladin captain. And then we just have a shit ton of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can revive people all day long. Or you can sell them. Give them to audience. His dragon's gonna love this.
Yeah, we
Uh,
just need the people to actually cast the spell.
But yeah, I'm assuming the half plate of, with I'm assuming Fisher's assistance / actually taking over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
half
because I
plate
also
is-
only need 6 hours.
it's so his half plate plus
Yeah, half plate is +2.
speaking specifically the priest captain, their quarterstaff and dagger were probably +2s.
No, quarterstaff +2. The dagger is a +1.
Couldn't shell out for. I'm joking.
Where's the +3 weapon at?
In 5 levels.
The
Greedy
two short
bastard.
swords are probably +2s.
Short
plus
sword
one.
are +2s. Yeah, because they were the main equipment of the rogue captain, so they're +2s.
Oh, so then their backup dagger was probably a +1.
The backup dagger of the rogue was not. It's a +2, but the backup daggers of everyone else was +1.
Okay, that would include the paladin captain.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's
Alright,
not
that-
going to use his dagger. Come on, he's going to use his arming sword.
And I'm assuming then the darts are. I'm not sure what the darts would be actually.
The darts are how Remy wants them to be. +2. 16 darts.
Nice.
Alright,
16
that-
quality darts.
All right, that's I believe everything. I'm keeping them on my Google Keep for the time being until we find a way to
Okay.
get rid of them. But I'm not sure what kind of plate right now you're wearing.
I'm wearing a +1 plate that also increases my dex save by 1.
I guess it's up to you if you want to.
Yeah.
just piece them together.
You'd probably, once you get back at the garden, be able to transfer the +1 to dexterity enchantment with the proper money and time. But right now, you have to choose between +1
Yeah.
and +1 dexterity save or +2.
Yeah.
I mean, do you just want to have it at least in your inventory for the time being?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll remove it from my list, and you can have that in your inventory. I'll remove it specifically from the paladin captain because apparently theirs looks sicker by comparison.
Well, the high priest wants to. He wanted to look like nobility, like, oh, I am the voice of a god. But the holy knight, the paladin, he wanted people to not want to fuck with him. So,
Well, he succeeded. He definitely was unfuckable. Do you already have? I mean, I know you normally use a like a two-handed weapons, but do you already have a +2 shield?
I do not. I only have a non-magical shield, so I'll take one.
All right. Audience, I actually don't know if you would want one of the +2 shields.
I don't think I need a +2 shield. I think my shield is better than a +2 shield.
Well, it's more about like if you want one in your toolkit in case what you need is defense or an extra
I
attunement
think my
slot for
shield
something
is
else.
a +2 shield. I should have put it that
In
way.
addition to everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it attunement? I actually don't know.
I mean, yes. No. Yes. Maybe. Wait.
probably powerful, as powerful as it is, it probably should be attunement, but I'm not sure.
It is
That's
not
it.
attunement.
It is not attunement.
Oh my
All
god.
right, okay.
All right, then you definitely don't need it.
Well, that's what happened when you make a shield out of the scale of a super powerful creature.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good on the +2 shield.
Give it to Tobiyashi. He can use it as a toboggan.
Yeah, yeah, I'll use it as like a sled or something, you know?
Yeehaw!
But his AC would actually go down.
No,
That is
actually,
true.
just slide the shield under Tobiyashi right now. Instead of hearing, you're gonna start hearing.
Unfortunately, they have not yet added to D&D a thing where you can dual wield shields to up your AC by another +2. Like weapons are also shields.
Oh!
Yeah, I need a +2 bracers of defense, please.
I don't know why
you
they
can get
stopped.
that when we get back to the garden.
I don't know why they stopped making the Ring of Protection +2 and +3.
I think it's just because of how valuable it is to succeed on saving throws.
I know.
Yeah, they got rid of
Just take the saving throw part out.
like all of the stacking of anything in 5th edition.
I would say, I don't know, because I think most of everybody else in the party owns one. It's like, well, actually, no, I think you actually currently have one.
Do you want to?
I'm just trying to think if anybody needs or like needs a ring of protection in their inventory or not.
I
could
do
use
not
one,
currently have one, I believe.
but I have bracers right now.
I don't think bracers and rings stack though.
They do.
Oh, they
They
do.
do. And cloaks.
Yeah.
The
And
idea is
clothes.
that only items that have the same name don't
Right.
stack on you.
But it just takes up multiple attunement slots.
Yeah.
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 Would
I'm
you
trying
just,
to.
would you just like to have one in your inventory, Fisher?
This is the case.
since I'm pretty
Yes.
sure
No.
audience
Yeah, I
already
could.
has one.
Yeah.
Dang, he would have so much AC.
Well, again, it's all remember, ring of protection's attunement, and attunement
Yeah.
slots are precious.
Yeah.
All right, so Fisher can have that ring. So I removed it from the keep notes. One last thing, and this is more just like deciding above table and then spreading out. It's like, do you just want to try to the best of our ability, spread the diamonds out evenly, or do you just want Remy to hold on to them, or how do you guys want to do that?
Audience would take a couple just because he could feed them also to his dragon for
Mhm.
like some of just the 300 ones would be fine because I think that gives me resistance
Mm.
to one of the things.
I think a diamond.
I don't have any use for them spell casting or as
I have a diamond in my inventory.
consumable wise.
Lightning. Oh wait, I'm already
Uh,
resistant to lightning. Diamond doesn't do anything to me unless it's over.
All right,
Unless it's over 500.
how about this? Since mostly because Raimi has a bias anyway, and considering everything that had happened to you, like when audience wakes up the next day, he's going to have 3 diamonds, like worth 500 gold, in his hand.
Okay.
Oh,
How many diamonds do we have? I would just want one, if I can.
I think it no longer is a problem. I think you have more diamonds than spell slots.
Okay,
We have a lot of
Uh,
diamonds.
maybe 2 then.
Like, do you already have one on your person, Tobiyashi?
I do have one on my person.
Okay.
This inventory.
In which case, how many do you have on your person, Fisher? Do you still have your one?
I only got a diamond on my person when Jorg left.
Well, I mean, the idea was that, at least, regardless of, what happens, somebody would have a diamond on them that could be used for Revivify.
Yeah.
That was the idea. I'm just asking if Fisher still has
yes,
one on
I
his
do.
persona.
Yeah.
All right. Then I think what we're going to do, if this sounds okay, just give Fisher and Tobiyashi 2 of the diamonds, and then Raimi will hold on to the rest, if
Sounds good.
not for value, then the fact that he's the one who generally tries to keep a gem collection.
What about Terry? Why doesn't he get a diamond? I'm just kidding.
When he can hold one in his
Mouth.
body, we can talk. Okay. I just want to make sure all of those are settled. Like the other magic item stuff, we can take care of at a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel
Instantly
for
eat a
obvious
diamond.
reasons, Raimi is going to take the arming sword. I just don't know if that's already a D&D Beyond item, or...
I'm not sure. I might have.
This is the first time we've encountered one in the entire campaign since I've been here, so...
What's it do? Just disarm someone, or
No, it literally is.
Just a side sword.
The arming sword. It's you can just take the the rapier and change the name because it
Yeah.
literally is the same thing.
Okay, just same properties, different name.
Exactly.
Think
Okay.
finesse light weapon, Toby, but they're different than our
Historically,
Well, it's not a light weapon. It's just a
yeah, not light weapon,
finesse weapon.
finesse weapon.
historically speaking, the arming sword became the rapier
Yeah.
over time.
Brackett's just trying to avoid. I know the term.
Anachronism?
Yes, yeah.
How
Like
much
an anachronistic
I miss.
situation.
I miss. How much gold did we get off, or did they not have that much gold on them?
Well, they didn't need
did they have-
gold for the fight.
Yeah, I think they-
Yeah, so they didn't
Diamond.
have gold. Yeah,
If
so
you-
they just had
Yeah.
diamonds.
Let's be.
If you wanted gold, you would have had to went back to the temple and dig in.
Mhm.
Which you know,
Damn.
no time for
The knight blew up the temple, though.
Well, he just collapsed.
Oh,
it.
also, how many of those raised dead diamonds do we have? Or raised? What we got raised dead something, right?
Well, three
Well,
of the
they're
ones
not-
audience, all the ones audience have are raised dead. Because they're
Okay.
500.
Any diamond worth at least 500 gold can be used for raised dead.
It can also give me immunity to lightning.
Yeah.
If
Again,
we need that.
both for practical and also for biased reasons, Rami just dumped the 500 gold ones onto audience and called it a day.
So, audience, when you wake up in the morning, you have diamonds on your belly.
I do. I don't have much else, because I don't think I drank any holy water before I passed out, so I literally did not regain any hit points.
All right,
Let's
feed a
get my
diamond to my
spells.
ball. No, I'm kidding.
You see, at that point, I feel like
I did get my spells back, at least.
would it be out of the question for Rami to have taken the time to gently coax holy water into audience's maw without choking him?
Probably.
With choking them.
Because I feel like that's just something Rami would do as aftercare for.
Mhm.
Carefully watching all the wounded from the village, making sure that they don't see this, and you just bend over and slowly pour the holy water in his mouth.
Down audience's throat. In which case, audience would have a long rest.
Yeah.
It's just, especially since I feel like even whether in character or out of character, probably pretty important in multiple respects for you to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, audience might need some holy water. I'm not gonna. Audience was not doing well.
During your sleep, audience, you don't know why, but you felt like someone was gently patting your head and saying, "I'm so proud of you."
Which would give me a long rest.
But also, you don't know why. It feels like that thing that says he's so proud of you also is saying, "But you didn't get any gold for me."
Man, picky.
Hey, it's a dragon. Dragons always want more gold magical object and
Is it? How many hit dice can you use? All you said we could use up to the max, but then we
Yes.
have to recover. Yeah. so I'm just
well,
gonna use
the rules for the hit dice usage and recovery remain the same. So you can use all of your hit dice on the long rest, and the long rest recovers half of your hit dice pool. Those rules haven't changed.
Okay, yeah. So then I can do. I think that many. See how much I gain back. 50. Alright, not bad. Audience gets back to 77 HP.
Well, you stop bleeding. That's all. That's good.
Yeah. I can heal the rest when I wake up.
Anyways, apologies for the inventory minutia. It's
No, that's okay. It had to happen. It had to be. You know, some people actually enjoy this. Like, some people like watching shopping episode.
You see, I'm the exact opposite. I try to blaze through it as much as possible. That's why when I go to a shopping experience, especially in this game, I already have a prepared list of things to do.
No, it's not the majority of people that enjoy shopping, but some of them, some people actually do.
I love shopping episodes.
All right, well, your night of identification and spreading the wealth around and taking care of audience goes well. As always, the knight is there, so he keeps you all pretty safe and just watches over you. Audience, like I said, I was slightly teasing, but it also is exactly what happens. That little presence that you feel as your little dragon inside of you that just is so proud of you. But also, you know, you could have made it a little bit more gold, but that's okay. That's okay.
I just got him 3 500 cost diamonds.
Like, could you maybe like ask your bird friend for a little more?
I got him 3 of the girl's best friends. What more does he want from me?
Well, that's when you find out that your dragon's gay.
So what's that? Sapphires, emeralds, ruby? No.
I'm pretty sure he's genderless.
Oh, don't you mean genderless?
Alright, I need to go to bed.
All right, yeah, no, it's not a bad idea to finish the stream here because you know there might be battle during the once you turn the key, so
Yeah.
it's a good idea. Audience went through a severe amount of trauma. He needs to rest a little bit, and you need to finish writing the resume of last episode that I apparently completely forgot. So and then write the resume of this episode. All right, no, it's a good place to finish for tonight. All right, so with this, we'll end tonight's episode on this wealth distribution paragraph. And next episode, we start the last challenge of this chapter. Who knows? Maybe the audience will find another way through the problems of this last challenge and no combat will be needed. But I don't think so. So one miracle per chapter.
Audience is fine fighting undead. He likes fighting undead.
Yeah.
He's not gonna try that hard.
You have the salt wards. Other than that,
I mean, it depends what undead there are. If they're just base undead, the salt wards will work as a like zone, or if we put them just around the portal as like a last line of defense. But we can discuss that next episode.
I was gonna, but you know that there are also Draco Leech in this realm, so that's not gonna help a lot. So
Yeah, we're gonna hope we don't fight those for the night. That gets.
all right. Yeah, no, wouldn't it be bad if the knight suddenly started talking to himself during the night and you have to face him as the last boss of this chapter?
I knew it. I called it.
We'd lose. Would not even be close.
Well, you'd have to accept to retreat. The first
What's that mean?
actual loss of this group.
I would say what happened with the wizard was definitely a loss.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
That was not a victory.
Yeah.
It was a tactical retreat.
Yeah.
It was a tactical retreat for most of us except for Civ and Krill. It was death.
Well,
Wow.
And I lost my arm.
Krill might still be alive, but you don't know because of the state of this realm. But you have one last
Yeah.
shard of him. But
Let me
Civ,
swallow him. Oh, sorry.
no, it's not a ball; it's a shard.
Well, at least Civ isn't dead. He's just controlled again.
Yeah.
Which for him is probably worse than death by a lot.
Yeah. All right. So with this, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for watching tonight's episode. I hope you had a pleasant whatever part of the day it is for you. Hope to see you again next week, next Wednesday or next Friday if you're watching this on the rebroadcast. Remember, rebroadcast. If we have 3 or more raiders, we try and raid someone. Not a lot of people on my list. I really need to spend time on Friday going through the list of channels that play Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe try and find another one. But we'll see. We might raid. That's all I mean. And as always, oh yeah, I forgot to start the campfire because we always end on the campfire. It's fun. Campfire when we end. Yes. Audience, that's what you hear while you're sleeping. Well, without the cricket. I never said there were cricket in this realm. So, yes, like I was saying, if you enjoyed the show, remember you can support us, and it's very much appreciated. You can support the stream by following us, leaving a like, leaving a comment on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You can also support the stream by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, subscribing on Twitch. And if you can't do any of those things, there's a very free thing you can actually do that helps us tremendously, spreading the word of this channel. So, thank you for being here. See you next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Today.